That means no client meetings at the Cheesecake Factory.
Did you spend it?
After your hoorah speech about 3 months ago?
Jake the Film Guy, Microbudgeter.com, teaching you tips and tricks so that you can land the 4- and 5-figure video production deals right in your backyard. Scottish accents abound. In this video, we're going to talk about business cards. Now, with the business card, you want to make sure that you are handing them out when people ask for them. That's tip number 1. Don't be the guy that spams them. I have business cards. Here, take 2. We've all been to these networking events. We've all met people where before you even ask for it, they just hand you a business card. And more often than not, in my experience, they go straight in la basura, in the trash. So, time it. If they ask for information, if they ask how to get a hold of you, then you hand them a business card. In this particular video, I want to also talk about where you should go to get a business card, pros and cons for some of the leading brands of online sellers of business cards. We'll talk more about the why you still need a business card in 2020. Let's start with that. The why. It's really important. We have a multi-generational business landscape made up of the baby boomers, the Gen Xers, millennials, and then this next generation, Generation Z. Not to mention, in only a handful of years, my sons' generation, we're going to blink and they're going to be working. But nonetheless, because we still have baby boomers and Gen Xers that are still running the world, we have to be particularly mindful of the fact that this, while it may seem like an outdated idea, is still relevant because of the people that are leading our businesses, our corporations, government entities, nonprofits, and churches. And so the business card is still a viable way to get that information across. A couple of things that you want to know about the business card. You want to make sure that you have a business card that is not only legible, but people can write on it. So don't use such a crazy stylized font that people can't read it. You don't want them squinting at it, unable to read the information you're trying to share. You want to be avoiding those high glossy matte finishes, the kind that make the card unusable when it comes to a pen or a pencil or a Sharpie. Whatever they've got available, they're going to want to be able to write on your business card. So get a good paper finish. Tip number 1. Tip number 2, put everything in the top left corner. Name, email, phone number. Maybe even what the name of the business is, your video production business. At the very least, your name, your number, your email in the top left-hand corner. Why is that? Because in the Western world, we read left to right, and we start in the top, unlike other countries on Earth. So, your business card information, just like when we crack open a book here in the Western world, needs to mirror that formatting. Don't make people chase down your information. You want to remove all barriers, all obstacles to people getting in touch with you. Tip number 3, you want to make sure that your business cards are standing out, which leads me to the comparisons and the contrasts. At the bottom of the rung, we have Vistaprint. Now, if you just need something that's a cut above Flintstoning your way around town, then go to Vistaprint. They're really cheap, they look cheap, they feel cheap, but they'll get you started, and they've always got some kind of promotion going on. Number 2, if you really want to have a good used SUV that's reliable, doesn't look bad, it truly is all-purpose, then I recommend the guys at Moo. Now with Moo, you can do these nice custom pictures, just like any of these other business sellers, but why I like Moo is that they just don't feel cheap. They have a good quality paper stock that they use, and their service I like. When I ordered these, for example, they threw in some extra business cards. On my last shipment, I may have even gotten a few extras there. I didn't check, but their customer service, it's a cut above Vistaprint, which is why I think they are the SUV of the bunch, instead of the old Pinto with the holes in the floorboards. The next step up, I would say, would be the metal business cards. These can get a bit pricey. The metal business cards can run you as much as $4 a pop, and there are a couple of different companies that do that. So when you're starting out and you're broke as a joke, do you really want to use a metal business card? If you got cash to spend and you want a Cadillac, here's one way to make an impression. Step number 4, and this would be taking it to the extreme, when you actually have a lot of resources and revenue, go ahead and get something that people are going to use and give that to them. It could be a pen with your information. It could be a tumbler. My dentist here in town, they have tumblers that they give to new patients with all of their logo and business information on the tumbler. So every time I go to the drawer to get a cup, boom, I see those guys, further reinforcing the fact they are the dentist for me. That's smart, and that's next level advertising. Another benefit of business cards before we wrap this thing up is that it is a tax-deductible expense. You can write it off as advertising because you are advertising your business on a printed product. So get the business cards. They count towards your advertising budget, and Bob's your uncle. Hey, if you stuck around this long, congratulations, you survived. I hope you use these tools for the glory of God and the glory of God alone. Film and video, unfortunately, are being used for some really ugly, sinful stuff in the world today. Things that the kingdom of darkness are doing are just horrible and exploitative, and I hope you will partner with the King of Kings and use this to bring light in the darkness. I got some bonus tips for you if you really want to hang around for some more punishment. Are you ready? With Moo, down below I got a link where you could go ahead and get a nice discount on your first order. Let me know in the comments below if you've used Moo, if you're curious about Moo, if you hate Moo. I want to know. But I've been with them for years now, and I like them. And they're going to send me some cards if you get their cards with my link. So there you go. Affiliate link. That's not really a bonus tip, is it now? No. So here we go with your power bonus tips. You want to make sure that your business cards are outlandish. This is why I don't recommend Vistaprint. They look cheap, they feel cheap. Get something original that's going to stand out. Boom, my mug. Boom, my mug again. My beautiful wife. Something that's unique, something that speaks to who you are and doesn't look like every other business card in the stack. You want to stand out. No different than your prospecting emails. I will continually throw in Sean Connery in a cold email. I'll tell them, you know what? I may not be able to get Sean Connery out of retirement, but here's what I can do for you in your video. Your business card needs to kind of communicate that same attention-grabbing opening statement. It needs to lead with it so that yours stands out when it's in a stack of other business cards at your chiropractor's office, when it's at your doctor's office. And that leads me to bonus tip number 2. Once you've gotten the card that stands out and doesn't look cheap, we have not because we ask not. Ask the people that you are already in contact with, like the aforementioned chiropractor, doctor. Ask them, may I put my set of business cards right here on display? May I put them here with the other business cards? Maybe your Whole Foods has that corkboard over there by the cafe, or what once was the cafe before the coronavirus, and you could put your business card there. Now, with things being printed, people might be a little reluctant these days to accept such an item, but nonetheless, they're not going away anytime soon because of what I talked about at the beginning of the video. The older generation is still running the world. They are still really the head honchos and decision makers, and so this is still a viable option to get people to get in touch with you. Which leads me to my third and final bonus tip, and that is every time somebody gives you a business card, I want you to pitch them. They're not a cold prospect at that point. Even if they're just a lawn care service and you don't think they have a shot of affording you, you never know. They might have a bar mitzvah coming up. They might have a birthday, a sweet 16, and they need an ace videographer to come and record it. Every time you get a business card from somebody, you follow up, you be original, you be memorable, and you pitch them. You ask them for the sale in the first email. Learn how to qualify first, of course. I'll link below how to talk more about qualifying a client, how you can learn how to qualify a client, but at the very least, you need to make the pitch when you are given that business card.